And CBS7 was on the scene this morning after a car drove into a restaurant next to Permian High School. According to the city of Odessa, and then drove into the restaurant. The accident is still being investigated. Now, last month, we told you about actions that were being taken by county law enforcement and government leaders to stop oil field theft crimes in West Texas. Today, those county leaders and state leaders met in Monahans to discuss their next steps.
Watch out, we're coming.
Representative Tony Gonzalez says that energy is a critical resource, and in order to protect that resource, a task force is being created to investigate any and all oil field related crimes.
Well, my deputies need to train on what's supposed to be coming on next is the documentation. Proper documentation the truck driver is supposed to be having to picking up oil or other equipment from the location, because that's the only way you can tell basically if they're there legally or not.
Local law enforcement officers will begin training next month in order to better differentiate between criminals and non-criminals who are present in oil fields. And this morning, Congressman August Pfluger held a visit to oil and gas sites and a roundtable with an administrator from the Environmental Protection Agency. This visit was to show the EPA how oil and gas is produced and how they work constantly to reduce emissions in the area. Congressman Pfluger says that in the next 15 to 20 years, hydrocarbons and the production of oil and gas is going to increase. And he says that to meet the demands of a growing population, allies and partners worldwide, and for companies that want the work in the United States, regulations from the EPA will only hurt the American people.
The discussion today was centered around the facts. What have we done? What has the industry done to lead the way, to bring emissions down, to make sure we do have clean air and clean water, but also for us to remind the EPA that that's one aspect, but the other aspect is affordable, reliable energy needs to be produced here.
Congressman Pfluger says that Dr. Earthia Nance from the EPA was amazed with the technology and the manpower that it takes to produce oil and gas. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom, do you have good news for me for tomorrow? Are we going to see sunny skies, or are we going to get some of that rain?
We're going to get some of that rain, unfortunately. Well, some people are looking forward to some rain like myself. My yard needs it, so we'll take some of it. Scattered showers and thunder showers on the way. Tonight, we're still dealing with a lot of clouds, and there's been a lot of buzz about there being a big geomagnetic storm, a solar flare headed our way, and it's going to cause big-time aurora as far south as Texas. If we do see the clouds break up a little bit, we may see a faint green or red glow on the horizon, but right now these clouds are holding tough, so I don't expect to see any of that tonight for us, unfortunately, as temperatures were much cooler today behind the front, but we saw that east wind that again brought in these clouds that we're currently dealing with across the area. Current temperatures, I'm going to try to get to it here. There we go. We are going to see those into the lower 70s out there across the area currently. Still dealing with an east wind out there up to 15 miles an hour and occasionally some gusts up to 20 miles an hour. They're up to 24 currently in Odessa. So overnight tonight, a little on the cool side as we'll see the lower 60s overnight tonight, and then rain shower possibilities starting back up tomorrow.
Thank you, Tom. We've got an update for you on a story we've been following for the last few weeks. You'll remember that local arena football team, the West Texas Desert Hawks, are being sued by the National Arena League. It was a lawsuit the Desert Hawks owner, Zach Bugg, said had no merit because the Desert Hawks were an entirely separate team from the West Texas Warbirds. Today, the National Arena League announced that they have reached a settlement. Now, most of those details are confidential, but CBS7 has confirmed that the Desert Hawks will be allowed to continue playing in the Arena Football League. Some more sports-related news for you. Today, the CBS7 sports team traveled across West Texas to Abilene and Lubbock for some playoff baseball and softball. CBS7's Jensen Young has some highlights from our high school games. Jensen.
Midland to pitch first. Jacoby Dutchover is on the mound. He had a great outing, starting with this at-bat against Kobe McBride. He fools him with this one for his first strikeout. Now, second inning, Dutchover tries to pick off the runner from first. He goes. John Langhennig at first, guns him at second. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Now let's see those Midland bats up against Mason Bell for Boswell. Juan Sanchez on second for Michael Lujan, who sends this one to left field. It's going to drop down the line, and Sanchez rounds third to score. Lujan's on second. 2 runners on. Cole Lunsford shoots it to short for what is a double play ball, but Lunsford, he runs well. He's going to make it safe as Lujan scores from the third. Now back on defense, this ball is going to get skied to right field. Wyatt Kruger gets running, and he's able to make the catch. Way to stretch for that ball, Wyatt Kruger, as Midland, they're going to score one more and grab a 3-0 win to stay alive in the playoffs. Now Legacy and Pascal, Jaden Rogers takes the mound for the Rebels. Here Pascal pops it straight up, and why not help yourself out by getting this out right here. Rogers this time gets Johnny Garcia swinging at air. A great start for Rogers. Now let's take a look at those Rebel bats against Garcia. Trajan Chavez takes his stance, and he says, "Get off my bat ball." This one flies to right. It has carried, and it is out of here. Chavez gets the scoring started for Legacy. Let's get Duncan Hayes up with a runner on second. He shoots this one down the left field line. The fielder cannot get to it. The runner scores, and Hayes would also be driven in as the Rebels take a 3-0 lead through 3 innings.
Coming up on CBS7 News at 10, Sports Director Jair Brooks Davis shares how our local colleges did up in Lubbock today. Plus, even more local sports coverage coming up tonight at 10. And $3.1 million. That's how much teachers in ECISD have earned in TIA incentives this school year.
We'd like to present you, Ms. Richardson, with a check for $20,239.
3 years ago, Ector County ISD opted their teachers into the Teacher Incentive Allotment, which is a state fund that allows teachers to earn more based on their students' academic growth. According to ECISD, this year, 353 teachers received money from this program, with awards ranging from $3,462 to $21,219.
The work pays off. What you do in the classroom, being there for the students, and also the work that you put into the children put into it, and how you pour your heart into our the students, it pays off.
Teachers from across 40 ECISD schools received incentives. And Bunch Elementary School students got to help release 1,200 balloons this afternoon. Take a look. The balloon release was part of a pep rally that the school had to celebrate being nominated as a National Showcase School for its use of the Capturing Kids' Hearts program. This award is given to schools that have positive student outcomes and educators who are dedicated to making a difference in the lives of their students.
I came to Bunch and we were given the opportunity to bring Capturing Kids' Hearts in. I knew right away that it was going to change the outcome for this community and our school and our teachers.
The Capturing Kids' Hearts program encourages educators and schools to prioritize building strong relationships while also emphasizing integrity, kindness, and personal responsibility. Spectrum of Solutions and Midland Christian teamed up today to provide an Olympic-themed field day for adults with special needs. 25 adults from Spectrums of Solutions buddied up with Midland Christian students to participate in an Olympic-style events and obstacle course. All of the adults got to try their hand at each activity with the help of their student buddy.
We've had tic-tac-toe, we've had bingo, we've had tug-of-war and other fun field day activities for our clients. And so they've been making the round station to station with a student buddy. A few of them are just a couple, and we're real excited to partner up with Midland Christian to provide this activity. It's great for our clients to get out of day hab in their houses and go to new facilities and meet new friendly faces and have a great morning.
Spectrum of Solutions thanked its community partners for helping put on the field day. And take a look at this. The Shepherd Leadership Institute team and 8 UTPB students got to go to Washington, D.C. earlier this month. The group went as part of the Midland and Odessa Chamber of Commerce D.C. Fly-In. The students got to meet with policymakers and participate in the Chamber's discussions about what laws affect the Permian Basin the most. They also got to go on a guided tour of the Capitol building. And still ahead, have you ever wanted to walk in water? We'll tell you how you can while also supporting a great cause. Up next. Tomorrow morning, COM Aquatics will be hosting the 4th annual Walk to Cure Arthritis. But this is no ordinary walk. You'll have an option to walk in water. Tomorrow between 8 and 10 a.m., you can join others with a walk to bring awareness to arthritis around Windlands Park. You can also spend an hour in the COM Wellness Pool and learn how people suffering from arthritis cope with their pain.
A lot of times traditional exercise is difficult for those with arthritis, and aquatic exercise is the best because it allows individuals to move freely in the water and exercise with less pain.
Now, this event isn't just about raising awareness, it's also about raising funds for the Arthritis Foundation to allow them to do groundbreaking research.
Arthritis Foundation comes to Midland every year. We get to help fundraise for them, bring awareness to their programs that they offer, and walk to keep moving.
The Walk to Cure Arthritis is tomorrow from 8 to 10:30 a.m. at COM Aquatics.
Well, we are going to be looking at some showers back in our forecast coming up for tomorrow. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder on the way, too. We'll take a look at all that coming up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look at those weather makers right now. And we're tracking a big storm system across the western U.S. That's going to come into play tomorrow. Well, it already has with this cold front rolling through, but this is going to move across to the east, and as it does, kicking off scattered showers and thunder showers across the area, it looks like coming up tomorrow afternoon. Right now across the state, you already see a few of those showers across northern portions of New Mexico. That's that disturbance that'll be moving across later tonight and into tomorrow. Most of the showers today were well off to the east, so again, that's where most of the rain is right now, down towards Corsicana, Palestine. Oh, I want to say areas right around Lufkin, Nacogdoches too. Back towards West Texas, we're looking at mild conditions, plenty of clouds out there. And again, that's going to come into play. Trying to view those aurora later tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. As we take a look at the temperatures across the state today, a little bit of a change out there, still hanging on to the 90s along the Rio Grande, but that front did drop temperatures quite a bit across the area. Now, taking a look at the futurecast, we're going to see plenty of clouds build in towards the early morning hours, and here's where we're going to pick up a couple of showers popping up, and then it shows a little more activity, maybe underdoing it a little bit. This model's been going back and forth on this a little bit, but definitely some showers in the morning turning into some thunder showers, eastern Permian Basin. And then where we see a little sunshine, we could see some thunderstorms brew up across the Trans-Pecos, moving across the Permian Basin through the afternoon into the evening hours. And rainfall amounts, well, we could see those up there a little bit. Isolated possibility for a strong to severe storm out there. Large hail, strong damaging wind being the main threat. And taking a look at the futurecast rain. Again, this is showing spotty stuff in the forecast for tomorrow, but we could see some heavier pockets of some rain in a few locations, so upwards to ½ inch to an inch, not out of the question for some areas underneath any thunderstorms that pop up. Rest of tonight, lower 60s on the way. Plenty of clouds in the forecast overnight tonight, giving way to a couple of thunder showers for tomorrow afternoon. And your CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast is showing that we are going to be dealing with, again, an isolated shower thunderstorm in the forecast through Mother's Day on Sunday. But warmer temperatures, I don't think it's going to be a total washout, so that's going to be the better day of the weekend for anything you have planned for Mom outdoors.
Coming up next, CBS7's Matthew Alvarez talks about a telethon that will benefit United Way of Odessa. We'll tell you how you can help right after the break.
It is an exciting time for the United Way of Odessa as their upcoming campaign is just about to kick off. We're joined now by Crystal Castillo and Steve LeSueur. You know them from different organizations throughout the community. They're public servants. We have Steve, of course, with the Odessa Police, and also you with the United Way. You're both with the United Way.
Yeah. Yes.
So you have an upcoming campaign. Talk about what exactly is happening and when it's happening.
Yeah, so it's going to be on May 14th.
Yes.
And you guys are going to be anchoring it, I guess. So I'm seeing it.
So this will actually be our second campaign drive of the year. This is the first time that we've hosted this. We will be this time at the First Basin Credit Union headquarters. There have been several of our board members who have been tasked with creating a team of community volunteers, and these volunteers will actually be calling current sponsors from our last year campaign, and also new sponsors, and also people that they may know of that we have not thought of.
It's an incredible kind of initiative to take. You know, you're gathering these funds that go into they have such an important impact in our community. Can you talk about what that impact is like?
Oh, so many great things. So, you know, as a first responder, we're constantly dealing with victims of domestic violence and other victims of other types of crimes. And so we work hand in hand with lots of our, community partners, such as Harmony Home and the Boys and Girls Club and Salvation Army, places like that. OPD is working with these places every single day. And we know how important they are. We know how we've actually had people that work at OPD who were affected greatly by these organizations. And so they know how important they are. And so we are proud supporters of the United Way of Odessa because we know how much really goes into it. And United Way of Odessa is excellent in that it helps provide funds to these organizations. And without those funds, it wouldn't be helped. So.
Absolutely, and that's the good thing about it is we live in such a generous community, and you've both already seen examples of this back in March. Is that right, Crystal?
Yes. Yes, so back in March when we held our first campaign drive, we were actually able to raise $141,200.
Wow.
And so we're just incredibly grateful for the support we've already received. We've kicked this campaign year off early and we've taken off. So we're excited to see how May goes.
And speaking of May, kind of an unprecedented event being able to hold this kind of telethon, is that right?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Again, it's brand new for us, and so to use this avenue to reach our community has been a lot of fun, and getting to know new people as well.
Yeah, we're excited to take part. Jacob Brandenburg is going to be out there kind of helping the calls move along and giving us continuous updates here on CBS7. So it's going to be a great time out there next week for that. And so, Steve, talk about the organizing. What's going into putting this all together, and what's it like for you?
Well, they really do such a great job, of organizing it, We, like she mentioned, the last one was excellent. It's just so nice to know that there are so many people out there that do care and they know how important this organization really is because it really does go to a good cause.
Absolutely. It does go to a great cause, and that's why we want you to come out and support, answer those phone calls and maybe even reach out to see how you can also support, maybe in different ways. And there are different ways that people can help, maybe not financially immediately.
Yes, that's correct. If you're not ready to make a donation right now, we are also scheduling workplace campaigns. And so what this is a United Way representative accompanied by one of our partner agencies will go into your workplace and share with you what United Way of Odessa does, how you can support either individually or through volunteerism, but also so this shares with our community what agencies we serve in case there are services that they may need themselves.
Yeah, whenever that opportunity presents itself, it's there. And so, Steve, if you could, one more time for the viewers who are interested in keeping an eye out for this telethon, when is it going to happen and where?
Yeah, so it is May 14th,
yes.
And it is going to take place at
First Basin Credit Union headquarters, the new location off of Highway 191, and it will be out there from 9 a.m. to noon. And so even if there's community volunteers who want to come out and help us make phone calls, we welcome them.
That's going to be a great time, and we'll have coverage here on CBS7 as well. We're glad to partner up for this great cause with United Way of Odessa. Steve LeSueur, Crystal Castillo, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else you'd like to add for the viewers to know?
No, just thank you so much for having us, and thank you to all of our current supporters and sponsors, and we appreciate each of you.
Yeah. Thank you both.
All right, Tom, we talked about this a little earlier in the show, but parts of the U.S. could see the northern lights today, and a severe solar storm could trigger colorful auroras as far south as Alabama and even as far south as right here.
They're going down. I've seen, from a line from Houston out towards Midland, Odessa, El Paso.
But we've got
areas
too
north.
much clouds right now to even
Yeah,
potentially look at it.
Too many clouds out there, I think, is going to mess things up. There have been reports in the Dallas area of a pinkish hue to the sky right now that's occurring. And over in Europe, they had a beautiful display of the aurora showing up. I don't think we're going to see too much of that, unfortunately, tonight. We are going to see another little feature in the sky, some thunder showers coming up in our forecast for tomorrow. And a few of those thunderstorms could be on the strong side, something we need to watch out for by the afternoon as temperatures stay a little cool. Looks like things try to clear out a little bit coming up later on Mother's Day.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight for CBS 7 News at 9. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.